Well, the Lobos are now packing up and getting ready to head to Salt Lake City today.
And if you want to see them in the big dance in person, this is also known as March Madness, check this out. First thing you have to do is you have to get to Utah. The cheapest way is to, well, drive. It's about 600 miles, so plan on a good 10 hours of windshield time. Or you can fly to Salt Lake City. I found tickets this morning as cheap as $330 round trip. It's on U.S. Air. All right, then you need a ticket to the big game. That's the easy part. UNM did sell out of its 300 tickets in less than 2.5 hours yesterday, so you're stuck looking online. StubHub here has tickets starting at $89 a piece, or you could always just try to buy them off the streets in Salt Lake City. And if you're lucky enough to make the trip north, you're not going to be alone.
We just got back from Vegas. Now we're headed to Salt Lake City. We're looking for about 50 diehard Lobo fans that want to go down and support the team down in Salt Lake.
Okay, you can also take the bus to Salt Lake with the Ticks for Kids group. That'll cost you $225 round trip. Then you do have to have a hotel or somewhere to stay. Don't worry, there are plenty of them available. They start at about $50 a night. And the Lobos, not the only team from New Mexico going dancing this year. The Aggies are too. New Mexico State has taken on St. Louis and San Jose, California. NMSU has had 350 tickets for students and fans. Those are pretty much gone as well. And if you cannot travel with either team, if you're like me, hey, don't worry, you can still sit back, relax, and watch them from the comfort of your couch or wherever you would like, and see the Lobos take on the Harvard Crimson. It's number 3 seed versus a 14 seed. That is at 7:50 Thursday night on TNT. The Aggies also play on Thursday on TNT. Tip-off for that game is at 12:10. And whatever you do, make sure you stay with KRQE News 13, both on the air and online, as we follow both the Lobos and the Aggies in the big dance. We'll have the very latest every night. Plus, Sports Director Van Tate, he is already in Salt Lake City. He'll have live updates starting for us very, very soon. Well, the eyes of the world are on Rome today at Pope Francis I's installation mass.
Yes, the city of Rome estimates as many as 1 million people are gathering in the city, specifically in St. Peter's Square, for the historic event. Heads of state and royalty religious leaders are among the guests at today's ceremony. Rome is teeming with tourists from all over the world and all walks of life to see history in the making.
We're probably going to see crowds somewhat like we saw when John Paul II died, you know, huge things.
Very early this morning, our time, Pope Francis began his ministry installation. The Vatican says this installation mass was a simpler version of the one that was in 2005 for Pope Benedict. As part of the ceremony, Pope Francis receives formal symbols of papal power, a personalized gold ring, a strip of cloth known as a pallium, which is like a wool scarf. It's made from lamb's wool. It symbolizes Jesus Christ, the Good Shepherd, seeking the lost sheep. And Governor Susana Martinez is in Rome as we speak, one of the select few invited by Vice President Joe Biden, including House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi and the president of Georgetown University. Yesterday in Rome, Biden met with Italy's new president and prime minister. Governor Martinez has taken advantage of the time in Rome with the vice president to talk about the future of New Mexico's national laboratories.
In other news this morning, New Mexico's unemployment rate didn't change as we entered 2013. It was 6.6% in January, the same as it was in December, and that's better than the national unemployment rate in January, which was 7.9%.
New Mexico and the USDA are teaming up to develop a plan to get rid of feral hogs. The wild pigs have made themselves at home across more than 3/4 of the U.S., including some right here in New Mexico. They destroy crops and gardens. They have turned watering holes into pigsties and done about $1.5 billion in damage. They do this each and every year. Federal and state land managers plan to use $1 million of money from the feds on a project for a year aimed at getting rid of the pigs, and they're going to use what they learn to keep them from gaining a foothold in other places. Well, one of Albuquerque's city councilors who is losing his seat because of redistricting will now run in another district. Isaac Benton will run in District 2 against Roxana Myers. He is a Democrat. She's a Republican who was appointed when Debbie O'Malley left last year for the Bernalillo County Commission. District 2 covers part of downtown, the North Valley, and the South Valley.
The Albuquerque City Council has officially given a green light to the Paseo del Norte I-25 interchange project. You see, last night the council passed the resolution, which includes a $50 million bond issue, basically the money needed to complete the project. Now, the construction is to help eliminate traffic backup by building a new interchange. The new layout was approved by voters back in February. Approval of the city of the gross receipt tax improvement revenue bonds for the project was largely procedural. Construction is expected to begin in August.
It is back to work on a downtown development that has been stalled for years. The Anasazi building here on 6th and Central is 9 stories tall and was done almost 5 years ago when bank funding for the project fell through. The original developer, Vincent Garcia, there was convicted of stealing money that was meant for the project. Then last month, the city announced a real estate group from Arizona bought the building, and we're now told contractors are finishing up. The first floor is for stores. That space is already for sale, and the top floors, which will be condos, should be set for sale by the end of this year.
Well, you want to make sure your child gets plenty of rest and eats a good breakfast, especially this week, because students in Albuquerque Public Schools are taking standardized based assessment tests all week long. Kids in grades 3rd through 5th grade will be testing this week through the 28th of March. Middle school students are actually taking the test today through Friday. High school sophomores and juniors are also testing today and tomorrow. Then juniors will take the science portion of the test on Thursday.